Are you chewing?
Yes.
Oh, that's gross. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can all hear you.
Do we want to hear you?
No.
All right. Well, we're live, and welcome to the CouncilCast. This is definitely not episode number 21. I'm not sure why I have 21 written here.
You're writing a lot of wrong numbers today.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the June 4th, episode number 82, I think. But the council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit with little background and absolutely no expertise. Thank you for joining us tonight. All of our decisions are final, as usual, and have no bearing on anything whatsoever.
Cool.
So we want to offer up our first advertiser for tonight, Salt Skull. They look like bub skulls. So thank you, Silas.
They're
for,
gross.
Dude, they're so bad.
What do they taste like?
Oh, you want to wash them
salt?
down with this stuff?
It literally says salt on the label.
I
Do
don't
you
want-
wash
I-
them down with apple cider?
I'll try one and I'll let you know. I haven't tried. I've tried the non-salted ones.
Here goes nothing.
Oh my god.
It's
Try it
covered in
live.
salt.
Are they like the world's loudest bags?
Yeah.
Is that a local treat? Because
But
It's Swedish.
so
It is
here, let me
salty.
try mine. Local enough.
It is licoricey.
Oh, it's bad. It's
Hey,
so bad.
hey, we're not going to be able to keep sponsors if you guys keep doing this. Remember,
Okay,
smile
you should
and
try one.
No, thank you.
This should be like a new segment for the show
Oh.
where we just try weird food.
Hey, I'm down to clown.
All right,
Yeah,
well-
we'll bring some back and you guys can eat it.
We'll all try it.
I gotta eat some of these chocolate-covered raisins to wash it down.
Do the chocolate covered raisins taste better? They're not covered in salt.
Everything tastes better.
All right. Well, we'll jump into our first topic for tonight about who doesn't want to go to Mars. I mean, I think based on you guys' video quality, you might be there already.
Thanks.
But apparently NASA is launching a new probe to Mars, and the NASA Mars 2020 rover. You can now sign up to put your name on a microchip that is going to go with the rover, so you can officially say that you are now used or have visited Mars.
Wow.
So
Can,
you
you,
go to-
can you really say that?
yeah, can you really say that?
I mean, why not?
It was a virtual visit.
You know, I don't know that I want to send my name to the Martians. Don't enough people already have my information? I'm really kind of skeptical about what they're going to do with it. Are they selling it when they get there? Are they selling my personal information when they get to Mars? Because that's my
Yes,
biggest concern.
that's what is concerning all of the Martians is how do they make money off of your information?
So,
Hey, maybe Mars is the international scammers planet. I'm just saying.
you don't know. That's a good point. I mean, but does it outweigh? You would earn 6.6 million frequent flyer miles. Does that help?
That's pretty good.
Depends on
That's
which
pretty good.
which airline.
It would probably have to be like NASA.
Can I cash them in to go to the moon? Is
Yeah,
that what
you
we're
earned a
doing
free
here?
trip to the moon.
Okay. Cool. Well, you know what? Sure. I'll put my name on there to earn a free trip. to the
One
moon.
flight to Mars gets you a free flight to the moon.
I'm not sure what's the point of putting your name on a microchip and sending it to Mars. What's
This
the
is what I'm saying.
attraction?
They're selling our information to somebody once they get out there.
Matt, what's the attraction?
What's the attraction?
Because you've
Please,
done this already.
somebody.
What? I'm eating more of these candies.
Well, at
I
least
think they're growing on me, Silas.
If
Would
you eat
you-
enough of them,
Would you take them as a snack on your trip to Mars?
Oh, you should. No, I'd take the Dracula things we ate earlier. Those things are disgusting. Silas
I
had
have
this.
some of those,
He had
though.
this bag of. He had this bag of Dracula things. It says the original for 25 years on them, and it's just like it can only be described as just a bad candy covered in astringent powder. And we were at the hotel, and Silas, one of the hotel workers, said, "Hey, do you want some of these?" And the girl responded with, "No, I'm really, really good right now."
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then he asked another one. She took like 4.
She's never had any before.
That's unfortunate. So, would you put your name on a microchip, Matt, to go to Mars? Does that interest you? Apparently not.
I have to honestly say, even though over 6.5 million people have done this, I really don't have any
It's
interest.
so bad.
I don't understand.
I think the idea is, you might be, when you show up on Mars in 100 years from now, because you would definitely live that long, maybe you would find this rover and be like, hey, look, my name's here. Cool.
It's the same as buying a brick on the new walkway they're paving at your college.
Yeah, there you
Somebody
go.
walks by and goes, "Hey, look, that's my name because I gave the college money for no reason to put a brick in a walkway."
Yeah, but NASA
Yeah,
wants us to do this for free, so
This
I'm
one's
not sure it's
free.
such a good deal.
But you get 6.6 million frequent flyer miles.
Think if they'd asked everyone just to pay $1 to get their name put on there. It'd be some.
They'd have one name.
I paid for one of those bricks. I've already bought into this scam, and they sent it to me. They didn't put it in the walkway.
oh my!
So I'm good.
That's not real.
I'm really good.
I think you should do is ask NASA if they'll take your brick to Mars instead.
There we
Ooh.
go.
I don't know. I like this idea, but if I'm being totally honest, I don't like this idea at all.
I
So
like
thumbs
this.
down.
I would do it if I had to pay for it. Thumbs down.
I give it a thumbs up because I like frequent flyer miles, and maybe by the time I get them, I can turn them into something.
No.
I'll turn them into miles for mags or something.
Seriously,
because I'm pretty sure they know something we don't, and they're selling our information.
they would have $6.5 million if they had just made everyone who wanted to do this donate $1. Thumbs down for a
that's
lost
brilliant.
opportunity.
Does Matt?
Yep.
Matt, you voting on this?
He's OD'd on that salt stuff, I think.
Good possibility of it.
He had too much of it. All right. Well, we'll just move on to our favorite neighbors to the north, Canada, and wanting to transport oil as bricks. So this is the I like
Like
I like
the ones
this.
that Logan has.
Yeah, just like the one that Logan has. But imagine it made of oil instead. The Canadian National Rail Company has apparently come up with an idea, and I think this is hilarious because if you actually read this article, I'll talk about it at the end, but they came up with this idea where instead of hauling oil, which is how you typically move oil around through Canada, they want to convert the liquid oil, into briquettes, which they can then load onto their train cars, which they can then ship across the country. And the benefit is that this apparently will make the oil far less volatile. And so you can get away with, packing it in different ways. You don't have to be quite as careful with it. You can transport it kind of right into anywhere you want to go from shipping from there. So they don't have to do anything extra with processing or storing the oil.
Well, and isn't there a added benefit to safety? So that there's train tracks that go through like wild reserves, and they wouldn't be able to do that with crude barrels.
Right, exactly. So you can't really have an oil spill, quote unquote, if you spill a whole bunch of bricks. You just go pick up the bricks.
Pick them up.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea.
So I think what the best part of this though is, if you remember, this is the Canadian National Rail Company that came up with the idea, and part of this transformation is that it's not a 1-for-1. So let's say 1 pound of oil does not equal 1 pound of bricks, because it has to add some stuff into it. The oil gets diluted, and so in order to transport the same amount of oil in briquettes, you have to transport more bricks, which means you need more rail cars, which means you need to pay the rail company more to ship your product.
That's that part.
Brilliant. Love it.
So they came
I
up
think
with
the
an idea
marketers
to
were-
make them more money.
That whoever came up with that idea should get an island somewhere and extra vacation days to use it.
Seriously.
There you go. But I do overall in general I like this idea because, like you said, it's you don't have as much of the environmental concerns. You have a lot more safety concerns that are reduced by this. They said that it doesn't dissolve in water, it doesn't release dust, and it's safer overall.
I like it. It's pretty cool.
Briquettes. I like it.
Well, it doesn't say briquette. I like it.
I wonder if you could light it on
pucks.
fire and use it.
They call them-
But if you could use it in your grill at home,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about oil briquettes. I'm more of a propane man.
That's pretty good.
all right,
Well,
Hank,
last time I did it, you guys made fun of me, so I've been working on it.
nailed it.
Pucks. I like the name. Can of
It
pucks.
sounds good. It's always sounded good.
When you say pucks.
Kennebucks.
Can't
Canadian
Canadian.
pucks.
Canadian
It's a hockey
pucks.
pun.
It is. We got pucks here.
That's what'll happen is that they'll probably have a spill of these somewhere, and then all the ice hockey players will go and just start using them for hockey.
Smacking them. Splitting them open.
Well, where did all of our oil go?
No, the bricks are big enough. The size of the bricks are big enough that they won't be playing hockey. It'll be a big curling tournament out there.
Do they say how big they are?
They said a prototype version looks like a chocolate pudding cup, so you could
yeah.
give it to kids
Oh,
for
okay,
lunch.
maybe hockey then.
Oh, and some Cannapucks got accidentally packaged as chocolate pudding and sent to the schools. Film at 11 sounds really bad.
Yeah, I like the idea. I like the idea that somebody came up with a way to make more money. So by also saving the environment, so thumbs up to him.
Yeah, and
I
you
like
know,
it.
rail cars are
Thumbs
cheap.
up.
That's what our future needs to survive.
Burn
More
more
rail
diesel to save on the oil spills.
No, actually, that's the best thing. You just toss an oil puck into the engine, and it'll totally run.
Why not? Why is that? Why can we not find a way just to use crude oil?
I like it.
Just no, thumbs up for the environment.
I think it's a good idea, Logan. Do it.
Oh, I love it.
All right, I'll add it to the list.
Thumbs up for crude oil.
Nice.
Thumbs
Well-
up for hockey pucks or Canadian pucks, Canna pucks.
Thumbs up for Canadians.
Yes. I guess.
No, that's not what we're agreeing on here. To all of our Canadian viewers, we're not agreeing thumbs up to you. Just putting that one out there.
What we might be able to agree on is that bigger is always better, especially in the case of Fujifilm
That's
and
what
their
she
new
said.
digital camera. So I put this on here just for you, Silas, which is Fujifilm launches their new
I
mirrorless
appreciate that.
camera. It's 102 megapixels.
It's only $10,000.
I've been hearing about this for a while.
It's pretty tiny.
That's actually fairly affordable for what it does.
Fairly affordable.
I'm curious what the sensor size is, though.
I'll trade you
Does
my
it
car
say?
for that camera.
What's affordable? If that's fairly affordable, what's affordable?
For what it
$8,000?
does, the comparable
full-frame
model,
mirrorless.
like the flagship model camera, is actually like a comparable camera for $10,000 is the Canon 1DX Mark II, and it only shoots 24 to 36 megapixels.
So I'm trying to figure out the image sensor size is 40. What do you want to know? Like a millimeter measurement? Silas?
I'm curious if it's
It said it has 30 frames per second 4K video.
is it full frame sensor? Is it a micro four third sensor?
They do say
APS-C.
APS-C.
APS-C. Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So would this be something that you would want to buy? Who is this for? Let's ask that question.
I bought a couple for my.
Oh, it's a medium format camera. It's not APS-C.
I bought a couple
It's
for my
medium format,
kids
which
so they
means
could
it's
take them to the
huge.
pool.
Good.
You get to the pool?
Yeah, take pictures of each other when they're at the pool and jumping in the water, stuff like that. $10,000. That's a lot of money for a camera.
Why don't
You
you
guys,
just buy
it's
a pool
medium-
and put it in your backyard?
No, you
For a
don't understand.
$10,000 camera, I shouldn't be able to lift it.
Okay.
I think you would have said that about a $2,000 camera like 5 years ago, and we have those in our phones now.
I'm not very strong, so it could be any size camera, really. It's pretty crazy.
So who would need this, Silas? Who would this benefit?
So this is a medium format camera. It's not
Fucking
APS-C.
Brian, clearly.
Oh my gosh. Did he just come out of his coma? Where is he at? Hey, Matt.
So it's the people who need this for 100 megapixels. These are people who are shooting professional shoots. They're doing shoots for like Coca-Cola and Gucci and Gabbana and prima donnas
And the brick company.
all of those people. I'm curious with the 4K video footage. Oh, it has 10-bit recording capabilities. Oh, I would like to get my hands on that. I would, I could see this being a good catch-all camera. My only question is what the low light capabilities of this camera are. But if it's shooting 10-bit RAW or
It says
10-bit,
it says the sensor is backside illuminated.
I don't want my backside illuminated.
yeah. So it will do decently in low light. So this is a professional camera that it's going to tick the boxes for a lot of filmmakers and photographers, and it's kind of an all-in-one camera. It's trying to fight the flagship Canon camera. I'm trying to remember the name of which one it is. The what?
No, wait. D1 is right.
Well, they talk about the comparing it to the Hasselblad's X1D, which costs
Yep.
$8,500 and has
Yeah.
less than half the resolution.
Yeah. No one has 100 megapixels. No one does.
So if you want to buy this, it does go on sale June 27th. So for all of the aspiring film directors out there.
Yep. No, I'm interested. I'm really interested. Like, I will probably spend too many hours watching reviews of this camera, even though I know I'll never buy it, just because I'll be interested in what it can do. Pretty fascinating.
I give it a thumbs up because 100 sounds a whole lot better than anything else.
100 does sound great. Thumbs up for cameras. And no one else cares.
Thumbs up for Fuji, I suppose.
Fuji? That's not Fuji. Isn't that water?
No, that's Fiji.
Oh.
Fuji and Fiji have teamed up to create a camera that is waterproof,
Actually, it's made of water.
made of water, with a straw.
No, they just paired up to make lenses.
Yeah.
For
Actually,
a camera
I
that shoots
I can see
underwater.
that. Anyway, speaking of cameras and putting them on phones, though, Asus has a Zenfone 6, which has a interesting way of making a selfie cam.
Oh my god.
So, recently we've been through this whole cell phone thing where we had the iPhone come out with the notch, and then we have a smaller notch, and then we have a bigger notch, and then just recently OnePlus came out and they had a camera phone that where the camera pops out of the top of it. So
Smart.
it's all in trying to get rid of anything that kind of blemishes the screen. Samsung has one where it punches through the screen, so you've got a little hole.
Yeah, I don't know why Samsung did this, because they had a perfect phone where it was just a line at the top, a line at the bottom. That was all you got. There's no notch. You still had the full screen.
Yeah, I don't get it. But anyway, Asus thinks that they've solved it by having a flip-up camera.
Oh, that'll never. I mean, that might work.
So this, instead of popping up, it actually uses the camera from the back of the phone, and it flips the back camera up into the front of the camera. Or
Oh
front
my
of-
god. Let me
That
have
is
a
smart
selfie.
because then you have the high quality both directions. That is kind of cool.
That's what I was going to say, is that I actually kind of prefer this to the pop-up idea because you use the same camera on either side. I mean, how
Mhm.
often are you trying to use both cameras at the same time? Come on.
You can't even like there's no functionality inside the camera for that to work to use both. So you might as well just have one that flips around. I do like this design.
I do get a little concerned about how long this mechanism will last, like
Yeah.
especially.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's gonna break real fast.
But I do like the idea of using your rear camera. I wonder if you could use
Thumbs
the
up
kick
for bring back the flip cam, the flip phone.
Flip cam,
Thumbs up for ingenuity.
not a flip phone, a flip cam.
cam. I give it a
I
thumbs
don't
up,
know.
but they have to call it the flip phone.
Yeah, if they call it a
Thumbs up.
flip phone, I'll buy it tomorrow.
PHLIP. Flip.
Yes. Exactly. Do you guys ever get bored at work?
Speaking of being bored.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well, what if your employer said, "Well, you know what? We made some video games for you guys to do when you got bored."
It would
'Cause
say
that's what-
great.
Amazon has now done to apparently reduce the TDM of their warehouse jobs. So they've created some video games that workers can play while they fill out orders. Who wouldn't want this?
Yeah, I would say take it one step further and make the game control the robots so that you just keep playing the game and it makes more robots do more things and package all the crap you need. Like,
Well,
That's exactly what this game is.
so that's the
Well,
thing I don't
kind of.
understand is does this game control the robots, or is this just a game you play on the side?
the way I understand it is that it's like you grab something off the shelf and scan it to throw in the box, and it recognizes that you did that and like moves your player farther in the game. So as it recognizes the more crap you get done, it advances you farther into the game.
Okay. So it's not like I can't just sit out at the computer and play me some Doom and
Yeah, I think
Or
there's
some
some
Fortnite.
interactive stuff with like a screen, but it's no like there's not multi-controller points here. You're not running around with two guns and a knife in your satchel to start stabbing people or running people off the road in a racing game. Or it's like playing the original Mario Brothers, 2D single path. You get the stuff loaded. The guy jumps over the bloop 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 over the. That's about all you got.
so this is more like making work fun instead of doing fun things at work.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's no measurable impact on productivity. Great.
Well, they say that there's no measurable product, but they've also said that their requirements of the workers were 100 items pulled from the shelf an hour. And when they introduced the games, they said if you're going to be playing the games, you have to bump it up to 300 items an hour. And that a lot of workers have been quoted. I mean, there's one that they quote here, but there's another article I found
you
that
picked up 500
500
items.
So there is
Oh my gosh.
definitely an increase in productivity, right? Like that's not something they can say that they're not being able to measure, because it's clearly measurable, because the way that you play the game is by doing your job. So the more games you complete, the more the games are played, the better you do at the games. There's obviously more productivity that's happening.
I mean, what's the goal though? Like, what as you as an employee though? What are you getting out of it? Other than
Entertainment on your shift, because they don't from the
It's just
Amazon
the
perspective,
instant gratification, isn't it?
yeah, it's just an instant gratification thing. I think that this whole idea is really working towards the millennial work group more than anything.
Thumbs
I
up
don't
for
know.
space.
It's an interesting idea. I'm just not sure. I wonder how long it's going to keep people interested. If there's no long-term
I don't know what to
reward.
say about it. I haven't played the game. I don't have an actual review of it.
Yeah, I think they should send us a review copy, and we can all try it on CouncilCast.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes, I second that. Thumbs up for that idea.
My thoughts are that it
I like any idea that tries to promote productivity. So thumbs up for, trying something new.
I'm sure that there's a follow-up incentive, right? Like, I'm sure that game reaches the point where it's allowed productivity, and that there's Home Depot. Home Depot did a complete certain tasks every night, and it's like crap, like scanning in and double checking that the right stickers are in the right place, marking the right shelves with the right merchandise, etc. Call it a game if you will. But if you did these things and you completed so many of them within a month, you got like a little $50 bonus to your check. And you have to do a lot, but I'm sure that Amazon will reach a point where they'll start adding minute financial incentive to tracking your progress through the games.
I think I'm going to give it a thumbs down, because I think that this might just make the workforce more aggressive, and everybody's going to be competing against each other. And the next thing you know, my Amazon box got thrown at somebody's head, and I'm not getting it tomorrow, like the ship date said.
Instead of throwing at your front door.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, I think thumbs down for manipulating millennials. How about that?
Well, if we don't want to manipulate millennials, then we might not want to listen to Elon Musk anymore, because apparently so if you remember, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Elon Musk and his Boring Company dug a tunnel under LA, and they apparently put out all of these big things. They're like, oh yeah, this is going to be the future. It's autonomous cars. They're going to drive on rails. The cars are just going to pop into these tunnels, and they'll just avoid all of the traffic. And turns out that was such a great idea that he just turned it into a normal ass tunnel.
Yeah, with bumpers, with bumper caps on your wheels.
Yeah. So I guess he's just. I mean, we're forgoing this whole, pretend that it's going to work well, and we're just going to let people drive. So I'm not sure how this is helping anything, but
Why did he change his grand vision?
I don't know. Why
I don't
not?
either.
Well, because the Tesla drives itself.
Oh, that's true.
So it says, I like this. It says, 6 months ago, the first demonstration of the track didn't quite match that vision. It was Tesla Model X on a sled going down a very bumpy tunnel at roughly 50 miles an hour. At the time, Musk said that bumpiness was only temporary. That bumpiness will definitely not be there down the road. It will be smooth as glass. Credit where credit's due, it will appear to be smooth as glass now, and according to the video, the Boring Car released a car going 127 miles an hour down the tunnel. How did it achieve such miraculous speed and comfort? They paved it.
Did you read what the actual shit was that article?
No.
So they did the math, and they could only, even at the boosted speeds that they say that they reached after paving the road, they could only reach 16,000 people an hour. Only 16,000 people an hour with this. And the Budapest train system says that there's a train every 150 seconds, and they reach over 28,000 people an hour. And for them to complete this with the 5 5-seat cars, they'd have to have a car every 2 seconds traveling at 120 plus miles an hour. It's like, yeah, I think this is, go for it, Elon. Do it, man. This is just hilarious. Like, no.
Musk says that they're apparently going to be able to do 100,000 people per hour per lane.
Except for when they add exits, and then there's no congestion.
Oh,
and they did this. They did guided tracks, mass. So this is mass transportation with guided tracks. That's what it is. And they've been doing this with buses in where was it? They've been doing this with buses anywhere for like the last 12 years, 12, 15 years, something like that. They've got automated guided bus tracks for mass transit. Okay, so you took an old idea and put it underground at a far more expensive rate because you have to bore a tunnel. Good job, dude.
When asked why did he give up his sled dream, Elon Musk said, "This is simple and it just works."
I'm out of money and I have to wrap up my investments.
I like the recap. To recap, Musk's company spent 2 years developing a very narrow car tunnel. To anyone who ever believed Elon Musk's bullshit, you've been had.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty harsh.
It's pretty harsh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thumbs up. I think his tunnel was awesome.
I've given this a thumbs down. I'm just gonna have to. I think it was a perfectly good idea before he paved it. So he should have left it bumpy as shit.
What was the
and on rails.
What was the
and also used bigger cars.
It was akin to a Disney-esque tram ride mixed with an SUV.
I say thumbs down because tunnels already exist, so I don't know what he's thinking.
Tunnels already exist. They're naturally occurring.
Naturally occurring phenomena.
Yeah. Nobody told them that, so.
No, yeah. Hey, do you know we already have these? No. This is amazing. It's new.
Thumbs down for chickening out. I think he just started to run out of money and say, I can't continue to push this idea. I think that he just chickened out. Thumbs down for chickening out.
All right. Well, I think that just leads in perfectly to our Elon Musk pitches for the week. So, anyone want to go first?
I have one. I had another one, but I like this one better. So I think that it would be really cool if he could take those CouncilCast and make them edible.
I like your idea.
In case, I mean, burn them, eat them, whatever.
It's kind of
like grandma's hamburgers.
I don't know.
It's kind of like the one-stop shop. You stop at the gas station and you buy a CouncilCast and you either toss it into your gas tank or you eat it as a snack.
Now we're talking.
Well, and if we want to stay in tune in the same vein as what's happening with his other inventions, turning the rail thing into a tunnel, we could see if maybe he could turn the CouncilCast into just crude oil. I think.
Oh, I do like that.
Maybe he could find a way to transport the crude oil after he converted it out of the CouncilCast.
Oh, I do like that. It's just easier.
Why
Just-
turn it into a brick when we can just put it in a bucket and take it somewhere? It just works.
I like it. I give it a thumbs up. I like this ultimate gas station item idea where you either eat it or you use it.
Eat it or you use. I mean, yeah, why not, right?
Why not?
It'll
Just
be
crude
like
oil.
it'll kind of be like the Back to the Future. What's that thing called?
Mr. Fusion.
The Mr. Fusion. Yeah. You either pull it out of the garbage and take a bite, or throw it in Mr. Fusion. Just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good one, Dad. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I think
Thumbs up.
so. I got my idea here. I think this is a pretty good one. This I think would help solve his tunneling issue. And my idea is that he should instead design a way to build roads that go over top of other roads.
Yes, I like this. Why have we never thought to put the roads off the ground?
Is this roads higher than, or are we just resurfacing because that's easier? And it works.
I'm thinking this would be off the ground, so it would
Oh shoot!
be like
I thought you were
a
just gonna
road.
pour concrete over concrete.
So instead of digging under the road and putting a road underground, I think he could just build a road like it's kind of like a bridge, you would maybe call it, and it would sit
But
over
continuous.
an existing road, and he could like double, triple, quadruple stack these things, and I think that's how he's going to get to his 100,000 cars
There-
per lane. Per
Oh,
Now
I
we're
do like
talking.
that.
Now we're talking. I think that this above ground road idea is really thumbs up, man. This is revolutionary.
I like
This
that.
is amazing. I haven't. I mean,
I don't think it's ever been brought up before.
no, I don't think so either. I mean, that stuff would really work in like Houston and Dallas and Austin. I mean, those really big spread out cities. They would just LA. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think they would really benefit from roads like above the ground.
I mean, imagine
Having-
this. They're so tall that you could actually have like parking ramps right next to the skyscrapers, and you could just get off and park your car and just like step into your building, into your office, really.
Matt is messaging. He has bad connection, but he's right. It's just dogs and cats living together. This is total pandemonium. This is like, how has nobody ever thought of this?
Wait, is he
Okay.
talking about
Mass
this
hysteria.
episode, or is he talking about the idea?
The above ground roads.
The above ground roads. This is just amazing. Okay, thumbs up to this. We got to move on to another great idea.
All right.
I can't imagine driving in Austin with a whole nother level of the same insanity that's below.
Seriously, that would be. It would help though. It would probably help a lot. Except for when there's maybe like a half inch of snow, then everything just shuts down. So it wouldn't be helpful then. But
I had an idea.
All right. What's your idea, Silas?
I want him to build some kind of structure that allows you to park cars like Teslas, let's say, in such a way that within a 1 square mile area, you can park cars on top of each other, like really, really high, like as high as, tall buildings even. And
parking garage.
And yeah,
Do you?
Kayla said like maybe a parking, like you could call it maybe a
You
parking
could call
garage.
it a parking garage. Wow.
So
nice.
would you drive the car and park it, or would a robot park it for you?
Matt hates my idea.
I mean, we already have robots parking cars
Actually,
at
my-
airports.
My real idea was that I want him to have cars that are powered by farts, so that you just fart into your seat and that methane powers the vehicle.
I buy more of those rolling taquitos at the gas station.
Silas, I think that already exists.
So
Farts are
do you
dope.
Do you think if I ate a can of puck that it would give me enough gas to power my car?
Let's find out.
Yes.
Let's find out.
Yes, feed ourselves crude-ish oil to fart and power our car.
Isn't that what a hybrid is?
I think that might be the exact definition of
That's.
hybrid.
I mean, that's the way I've treated mine.
And the resale value just went down again.
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 I like this idea because it perfectly works with the can of puck idea. I mean, you can again eat it and power your car, or you are now just powering your car directly. Depends on how much you want to fart.
Exactly. 100%.
Oh, and
I mean,
all
I can
the
imagine
people
that-
with irritable bowel syndrome would just buy these things up immediately, right?
I mean,
Obvi.
I can imagine instead of gas stations lining the roads, you're gonna see like a lot more Taco Bells.
Why not, dude? Be perfect. Cheaper
Anything-
fuel, far cheaper fuel. I tell you what.
Actually, maybe this is a good segue into a whole new conversation about what produces the most gas.
I think we'll bring that up next week.
Okay.
Right. All right, I've got an idea. I've got a
You
pitch
are the
for Elon.
programming manager, so
I want Elon to it's really not like an invention per se, as just an action. I would like him to expose why NASA wants to send our names to Mars.
What?
Because it kind of worries me. Just
Sure.
putting that out there.
What?
Thumbs up. Next topic.
Thumbs up. Next topic. I agree.
Thumbs
I
up for
just
space.
wanted to expose what NASA's trying to do with our
You know,
information. That's all.
If they
Stop
send
saying
those names
expose
up
like
there and a Martian gets your name and then uses your name, identity theft is not a joke.
It's not.
I'm thinking that the better option might be that he goes to Mars and talks to the aliens and maybe comes back with a diplomatic solution for what we're doing with their data.
I don't want them to have my data in the first place.
Well, he's going to go talk to him first.
Oh, like the Democrats went and talked to. Never mind, I'm not going there right now.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's exactly like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if anybody's up for it, I just would like to encourage somebody who's got money
Alright.
to.
Collude with Mars on privacy
Marsgate.
data. Call it Marsgate. All right.
Great.
Aliens, exactly. I'm not sure if that's maybe Matt's recommendation is to have aliens. I don't know if Matt's got an idea. Maybe he can call the fart car the fart can. Actually, I think Matt's idea is to get better internet.
There it is.
Thumbs.
Thumbs up for that. Space internets. Yep. All right. Thumbs up for space internet. Yes. I like it. Space better.
Better internet. I like it.
Internet. All right. All right. I think with that, we're going to call this council meeting adjourned. We want to thank every single listener out there for joining us tonight as we record this podcast live Tuesday nights. If you liked what you saw and want to check out all of our past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org or download the audio files from iTunes, which is going to get killed off, or your favorite podcatcher. So if you have a topic you would like the council's decision on, you can email us at councilcast@gmail.com or connect with us on Twitter @RealCouncilCast. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.